Well, Sunday night here at MBE, so let's do this week, or last week, or maybe we should say. So we had a set of a pallet full of the big nines run through, so these are getting run, they're in process. That one's getting anti-deto chambers in it right now. We also had small blocks, electrical small blocks come in. You can see they come in raw. So these, we'll start running, we already have the tool path for everything, so we'll start running these. These are on schedule to go a week from Monday. These will be run, and then we will have some for inventory too. And we'll do a video on this when these are all finished. And then we come over here, got a set of the 10 degrees right here, which is our own casting. So it's a set that all that has to be done is final decked for the customer's desired chamber volume. So that's a 10 degree head. You can see it comes off the top. Because it's a 10 degree head, not the 13 degree head, this is flat off, meaning this is straight. So this is just an extension of the valve job. So the mid-lift numbers are much more than the 13. But from a power adder standpoint, the 13 is better. Plus the spark plug placement is much different in the 13, which helps for nitrous. So, and it actually works really good for the World of Outlaw sprint car guys too. So, and you can see we ran these for 2 weeks. So I'd say like a quarter of these are spoken for. And so these are the intake manifolds, the Dominator manifolds for the 13 degree wedge head and the 10 degree that we do. So the head that I just showed you. So we're trying to run some inventory, so when somebody calls, we can get the work out right away. So, and try and just make the most use of our spindle time, because that is the most challenging part. And then you can see, so all these will be run. We'll start running these next week. So now we're running big 9. So the big block manifolds, the big 9 billet intake manifolds. So half a manifold, half a manifold, half a manifold, and so on. So we've already run a bunch of pieces, but this will be run for the next 2 weeks. And we'll have some of these in inventory too. So this way, hopefully we can be one of the suppliers that isn't the land of broken promises during COVID. We're trying, I promise. And then we got big 9s that are spoken for. So basically we have the pallet come in and those are spoken for, and we have another pallet on order, so we'll have those pretty soon also. We got 18 degree conventionals, 13s, and these are billet pieces for cylinder heads here. Okay, and then come in here, and one of our most popular Ford head period, small block or big block, is the 12 degree head that we do. So this is made for larger cubic inch, higher RPM. It's got all kinds of valve area, depending on which way we do, with or without a power adder. You're at a 2-320 valve to a 2-290 for the power adder guys. So we can put more on the exhaust side. But you can see it's got 32 fasteners holding the rocker bar on. We're just finishing the manifold up on this. So you can see we're laying it all out. This is a customer's existing manifold, so we did have to add some weld for the flange on both sides. But you know, it's not a big deal because that's what we do here. You know, it's not a big deal. So at least we could save the customer money on not having to have the nitrous machined or the EFI machined again and buy another intake manifold. So regardless, we worked with him. It's not a big deal. Valley tray, of course. So it actually looks like a race piece. Yep, so this thing is kick-ass, and these have been very, very successful. And then we got our Sp2 head. This is an Sp2 head, not a cup style head. Originally it was a cup head, but this is a drag race model that we do. We move the guide bores in it. So it has a 250 intake valve in it. So it flows a lot of air. Something like this on a 600 flow bench is going to be in the 465, 470 range. On a 1020 bench, it goes 455. So pretty good head for an Sp2. Intake ports have been raised up significantly compared to the cup deal, because on the cup side, we have a port height that we have to stick to keep the head legal. So we were able to raise all this up on the intake and the exhaust side. The exhaust is raised about 200, and the exhaust is raised about 300 thousandths on the intake port. Plus we add weld to it and everything where where the cup head only has 10 fasteners holding the rocker bar on. This has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 fasteners holding the rocker bar on. This particular cylinder head takes a gesso system, so they went and designed this for us with the extra fasteners in it. So this is stout, so this can be used for power adder stuff or comp eliminator, truck pulls, things like that. One thing, it is set up for RPM because of the way the rocker gear is set up. So like we never do we just don't buy the casting and say, oh, that's what we got, that's what we have to do. We look into it, how can we make this better by putting more fasteners in it, so in the end user it's better. You're not breaking rocker arms or anything like that. And you can run more camshaft in it because you have less deflection. And then we have the MBE 18-degree conventionals here. So this is the 2500 valve. This is the truck pull. This is the truck pull / drag race version. 18 fasteners holding a single bar on. We have customers in the truck pull world that run this cylinder head to 10,200 RPM. One thing nice about this, as you can see, there's no fasteners in the thinnest part of the intake port. We have the bosses way over here, so you can put a 7/16 fastener in it, and it has like 10 threads, so it's stout. You know, you can torque that thing to 50 pounds and not have to worry about it. Where before, it's always in the thinnest part of the intake port, and there's usually 3 threads holding the rocker bar, and then it pulls the whole top of the intake port out, and then you throw the head out and start over. But you don't have to do that with ours. You got something that'll last you your lifetime. So manifolds to be ported here. So this manifold will be for this. So we're getting ready to mock this up. And then here's another one for an LS, and then valley trace. So we're just continue working. The guys are doing a great job as always. We've been doing some development on our billet Chevy head and our billet Ford head, so that's what's going on there. So we like that, because everything's always evolving. So if you're not learning with what we do, you'll be broke very quickly. So then we'll come back here. We had an excellent week. We had parts show up. Well, first let's go over here. This is the Dart LS 10 degrees here. So these are just about finished. All we have to do is final valve job them. This head will get dry decked, meaning we'll make pieces up, and then we'll weld these. We'll press the pieces in, and then we'll weld them here, so it becomes a dry deck. There's no water. Well, they run water in the top of the head, but no water like if it lifts the head up that goes in the cylinder into the cylinder. So these have to be dry decked and final valve job, and these will be done. So we'll go in here, and we had an excellent week last week getting parts out. If you remember in here, we had heads set up here that were finished. This was completely filled. All those sets of heads went out. So I don't know, it's like 10. It was around 10 to 12 sets of packages with manifolds and rockers and everything went out. So we had an excellent week, and the guys killed it getting the work out. So that's what we got here. So it looks like we're caught up, but truthfully, I don't think we're ever caught up. But we're always moving forward, though. I promise you that. So thank you for joining us for this week at MBE. Have a good night.